Shout out StatGuy.
The MAJesty.
Oh my goodness. It's professional wrestling.
1,000% confirmed. Not Mage.
Stay Mage and enjoy yourself.
It's Cheap Heat with Peter Rosenberg, featuring StatGuy Greg and Dip.
Oh, hey, ladies and gentlemen, happy New Year, and welcome back to Cheap Heat Live, Pro Wrestling Nation 24/7. To those of you who were with us on January 2nd, good to see you again. Good to hear from us, I should say. If it's your first time in 2026, welcome aboard. I'm your forever 24/7 champion, Peter Rosenberg. I am at the WWE Performance Center in Orlando, Florida. And get this, folks, sitting next to me at the Performance Center is none other than 38 at 35 Dipperstein. Wow.
I have decided to start my training. I'm going to be bumping and bumping.
It's time.
I'm running the ropes.
Oh, yeah.
I'm jumping off probably the first rope.
Yeah. I would start on the
the
first rope.
turnbuckle.
Oh, yeah.
Probably.
And then on my second day, I'm going to learn a 360 splash.
You're going right to it.
Yeah. I go right to the 360 splash.
Joining us in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, he's back home. He made it back from Hawaii. It's the physically strong SGG. Hey, SGG.
I got to say, I don't want to be here. I want to be still in Hawaii.
You don't want to be at the Performance Center?
I want to be at the Performance Center, sure. But if it's the Performance Center, then Philly and Hawaii, Philly is definitely the last place I want to be. No
Yeah,
disrespect.
I hear you, SGG. It's not Philly in January. It's not one of the most popular destinations.
I know it well. I spent many Januaries there.
Oh,
18 of them, in fact.
Is that it? 18 Januaries in Philly, and that was it, huh?
18 Januaries,
The
yeah.
ninth-
Some of the great Januaries.
No, the 19th January, you were back for probably at least half of it after break, no?
Yeah, I of course. I was always there for break, but full Januaries.
18.
Yeah.
That's it. You know what? That's the name of Dip's
Smart
future
man.
biography.
18
Januaries in Philly. It shaped the man that he is today. Happy to be here with everyone. A lot of different things to talk about today. A lot. I went to Monday Night Raw. Actually, Dipperstein was there as well.
Yeah, I did. I went to Monday Night Raw. I love wrestling, by the way. Big fan of
Yeah,
the
you
product.
think it's great.
I do think
I've
it's
been
great.
I've been told. We took in the matches.
We watched the matches, yeah. All of them. All the matches.
We saw most of them. I saw most of the matches. I did not get to see Becky Lynch's Intercontinental Championship match in full because she had me escorted to the back by security, which was an interesting occurrence. SGG, I was kind of hoping I'd hear from you that night, like a text, like, hey, like with my sort of maybe like some legal angles for me.
Unfortunately, I was on a beach probably when you were getting kicked out, but we still have time to file definitely a defamation because it's been a weekly assault. Pipsqueak Peter Rosenberg is just.
Thank you. What can we do
absurd.
about that? Do we have a defamation situation there with the Pipsqueak Peter Rosenberg?
Absolutely. I mean, you're going to be held to a higher standard because you're a public person. You know, you're a celebrity. You're the hardest working man in sports entertainment. So you can't just go with a straightforward defamation suit. You have a higher threshold to meet. But I mean, look, this is pure malice out of Becky Lynch. Mm-hmm. She knows it's a lie. She knows that she's spreading harmful untruths about you, and we can definitely do something about that, and we will.
I appreciate that. I'm glad someone has my best interest in mind. Someone is truly unbiased here. Someone is able to step in and defend me. I'm truly glad that I have you in my life, SGG.
Thank you. I appreciate you as well, Peter.
It was a really fun show. The walls did not break. Adam Pearce definitely went on social media and made it feel like the walls might break.
They're intact, as far as I can see. The walls are intact.
Fully intact.
Oh, yeah. There's not a wall being broken anywhere in this great nation. I'll tell you that right now. Which listen, it still turned out to be a great show overall, right? You had multiple title changes. We'll get into them. Women's tag title change hands. Becky wins the Intercontinental Championship back from Maxine by cheating. And then, of course, you get the awesome match between Braun Breaker and CM Punk. That was a lot of fun. But, like, I still felt like I'd been having conversations people have started to change the standard of like, oh my God, is something happening? You know what I mean? Like, is something big happening tonight? And be like, oh yeah, something's happening. I don't consider a really good match. Like something's happening.
No, of course not. I was ready for the walls to break down.
I know.
I'm looking around this room, looking at these walls, thinking at a certain point they could be broken.
And what happened?
They stayed intact.
Yeah. But that said, were you satisfied with the main event? Do you think the main event was something?
Do I think it was something?
Yes.
I mean, nothing happened angle-wise at the end of the match. There was a clean win by CM Punk, clean adjacent win by CM Punk. That, to me, that's not something. That's a good. It was
a good wrestling match.
It was a good wrestling match. Would I say something? No, definitely not something. I didn't think they were pulling the trigger on Breaker on a Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, there were people I saw out there. I talked to people. You know, we ran into a lot of great people that night at Barclays Center. There was a suite. Netflix had a suite with a bunch of cool people: Sir Wilkins and Pretty Lou and Randy Cruz.
Oh yeah, don't forget about Randy
Bryan
Cruz.
Waters.
We love Randy Cruz.
Krista B. I mean, it was SUG.
Crystal B was in there.
Krista B. SUG. What it sounds like. SUG. SUG, what it sounds like I'm describing, based on everyone I just mentioned, is there was a black suite at Barclays Center because
it sounds like you were invited to the cookout, P.
Let me tell you something.
Dip's excited about this.
I walk into this suite. It was like Obama walked into the suite. I mean, that was basically the feeling that Peter Rosenberg. That was the reception that he got. I mean, by the way.
Shout out to Shaheem Reed was in the suite.
Yeah, don't forget about Shaheem.
Chuck Creekmer was in the suite.
Chuck Creekmer was there.
I need to be in this suite at the next Raw.
Chuck Creekmer. He wasn't black enough. SUG, he would change his name from Chuck Creekmer to Chuck Creekmer. I mean,
so I swear to God, I'm standing in this suite, and they bring a couple of the stars up to the suites.
Javon Evans came up. Oh, sorry.
So they, well, that's it. That was the end.
That was the end.
I was about to do a whole thing.
Well, how did I ruin it?
I was just saying, you basically got the same reception as Javon Evans.
No, Javon Evans and I were taking competing pictures at the same time.
Yeah. A few people went to you first for the picture, and a few people went to Javon Evans first for the picture.
No, can I tell you the truth? In all honesty, in what has been an interesting...
then I took a picture with Ivy Nile.
Did you?
No, but I do like her.
It's been an interesting few weeks, as everybody knows, with me losing the Hot 97 situation, and that going away, whatever you want to put it. And SUG, you're right. SUG just texted that he needs to be in this suite at the next Raw. Yeah, you absolutely should be, bro.
Yeah.
Next time, because Netflix, they'll probably do it again for March 30th. They just announced March 30th Raw. I think Netflix basically now always has kind of an influencer suite situation.
It was, by the way, some peckerheads in that suite.
And there were some peckerheads in there, too. It was really cool.
And I will be there. I will be there.
All right, put it on your calendar. Oh, shout out to the Heel Marks. They were in the suite as well. I enjoy their Instagram page. They were up there. But in all seriousness, having not been out since my Hot 97 departure, that was my first time outside. And I got to tell you, you don't know like how people are people going to feel awkward? Like, oh man, I got to tell you, Dip, I felt hotter than ever.
Yeah,
it felt hotter than ever post-hot.
Isn't that crazy?
Well, you know what I think it is though. First of all, just to be clear, there were a lot of people in that room that I sincerely love and obviously just have real friendships with. Of course,
stop. He was over like a roo.
No, but both can be true. But I do think SUG. But what I do think it is people may have love for you and you have a good relationship, and obviously, like I've had a. It really was. Like, I'm joking about it, but it really was like a lot of the Black Wrestling Twitter delegation is kind of in that room. That is a community that I generally have a good relationship with. But there is something to when, even if the news that's out about you was like that you left your job or you were told to leave your job, you're still out there. You're still hot. You know what I mean? There's something about when someone's having a moment, regardless of what that moment is.
Exactly.
As long as it's not like a horrifying crime.
All press is good press.
Especially when it's,
All press is good press.
Generally speaking. All press is good. All press is good.
Like, Craig got fired on his day off, and that was the day that he ran into Debo. Smokey chilled with him all day. Felicia popped by. Everybody.
Mrs. Parker.
Yeah, Craig was outside, and Craig was still hot.
Great point. It's a great point, SGG. I knew you'd reference Friday to pull this whole thing together. You're exactly right. No, it was a great show. Now, I have to tell you guys, when I was watching the main event, they were having a really good back and forth, and I had recently seen some social clips moving around of some clunkiness. I think I sent it to you guys. Some clunkiness in previous moments between CM Punk and Braun Breaker. And so as the match was going on here, and it was getting longer and longer and like more and more detailed, I was like, this has been really good. Let's wrap this up. You know what I mean? Like let's get to the end here. This is a big night. We got to get this done. And then as the moment I thought that, Punk did the dive and basically landed on his face.
I know, but
I was worried. I'm so glad it turned out. I think he's fine.
I was worried
right?
tho. I panic when that stuff happens.
Yeah. I think he's fine.
Did you guys think that the first Breaker Frankensteiner was a botch on purpose or a real botch? Big debate.
On purpose.
Mm-hmm. You think that was a botch on purpose? He did 2 Frankensteiners. One he completely missed, and one he was amazing.
I think I missed the first one because I was leaving the building.
The first one was a huge botch. It was all over the place.
I have to look right now.
Oh my god.
SGG, what's your feeling on this?
Yeah, it was definitely a huge botch. Like it wasn't.
Oh, you think it was a
huge
huge botch? You don't think he did it on purpose to set up for the second Mage one?
No.
Okay. Fair.
I mean that happens a lot, right? Where they botch a spot and then they go right back to it.
I'm watching, and I will be the judge.
It's a very. I mean, I don't know. It's an incredibly impressive move for a guy like that to do that. Not a lucha guy to do that. Yeah. Big debate.
Hold on. I'm watching it again, SGG.
Mm-hmm.
How early in the match was this?
More towards the end.
I'd have to watch the sequence that led to it to decide whether I think
he leaned back. I mean, I don't know how the move is executed, although I'm here now at the Performance Center.
Right, you're starting training. You're learning.
I could learn the Frankensteiner today.
Sure you could. No, I don't know about today, but sometime.
No, today.
All right, so maybe you'll learn it.
Today, I'm going to learn the Frankensteiner.
But yeah, I'd have to, because I have to be honest, guys. I got a lot going on at home, baby, etc. So I left during the main event and watched it on Netflix. But I was on my way out watching it on my phone. I missed this moment. I have to see what happened right before it again to see. That is interesting. God, the things people love to debate. This is what's great about wrestling. This is why I love wrestling. I think it's great.
I think it's great, too.
It gives you so many different things to break down. SGG, overall, you enjoy the main event?
Oh, yeah, I definitely did. I did.
This is great. Wrestling is great, guy. Sign was out there again last week. But,
Well, he's right, though. I mean...
No, I know, but great. It's like... we love seeing our peckerheads at these shows. Clearly, this guy's a massive peckerhead. He seems like a great guy.
Sure does.
But, I'd love a cheap heat sign out there.
I don't understand why our wonderful listeners, they always have signs with, like, inside jokes. Someone just...
We love the inside jokes.
I love it. Can I just cheap heat? Cheap heat live, Cheap heat, Pro Wrestling Nation. Like, you promote, we got to spread the brand. This is a special program.
Yeah.
In the Discord, somebody did mention that they had a listen to Cheap Heat sign that was confiscated.
No,
so it's possible.
Really? They would confiscate that?
No.
Where?
Listen to Cheap Heat
at Barclays?
Not at Barclays, but just like in the past, they bought one and that was confiscated.
Try again.
I think I find that hard.
Well, no, I think the sign confiscation is very arbitrary.
No, and it's also where it's placed.
Where is it? Did the person see it? Does the security person who grabbed it know? So
yeah.
But listen, a shout out to everyone who's been enjoying the podcast. I got a nice tweet from
millions
Joe Tess.
and millions.
The millions and millions. I got a nice tweet from text from Joe Tess last week. I got a text from my friend Jonathan Zaslow, who loved last week's show.
Let me tell you something about Tessitore.
Go ahead.
Where's this going to go?
At this...
I know, SUG, this is one of the things I talked about with Dip. Dip, you do a thing. You don't know this yet. There's a thing you do.
I feel bullied immediately already.
You like to do a big setup for when you're going to say something. You go, I got to say something here. Go ahead. What would you like to say about Joe Tessitore?
Well, otherwise I won't get my point across.
Oh, sure. No, we'll talk right over you.
I can't imagine wrestling without him now.
Wow.
Yeah.
You can't imagine wrestling without him.
No. I think he's like permanently implanted in my brain at this point.
You think is he to you inherently the next guy?
Yes, he's the guy. I mean,
Yeah.
Cole, of course, is like on another planet at this point. Oh, no, in a good way. But, which is such a complete and utter 180 about how I felt about him 10 years ago. But
well, you can figure out.
I mean, I'm
changed.
the first person standing ovation when he gets to stand. I start the standing ovation when Michael Cole gets in the Hall of Fame. I'm the first person to stand.
And you would have been the last one, you're saying, 10 years ago.
Well, I don't know, the last.
He wouldn't have stood up.
Third to last. But Tessitore at this point is the guy, and I can't imagine I can't imagine wrestling without him now.
I will tell you guys this. I more so than either of you, I am a broadcasting nerd who knows all the sports broadcasters, and I know all the play-by-play people, and I know everyone.
Yeah.
I don't mean personally. I mean I know them from watching. I obviously have been watching Joe Tess do boxing and college football, and for a few years Monday Night Football. I've been watching Tessitore on TV for years. Always thought he was a really great broadcaster. Came to WWE, he did the impossible. They have brought really good broadcasters in to try their hand at WWE, and as we know, guys, it did not work, right? Even my man, what was my man's name who did Raw for like 3 years? 2 years? The MMA guy?
Oh, I know exactly. So I can picture him, but I can't remember his name.
Oh, Mauro Ranallo?
No,
Smith?
not Morrow. What?
Jimmy Smith.
Jimmy Smith.
Shout out to Kelly
by the way,
and Zach for the.
thank you guys. By the way, it's the name Jimmy Smith that did me no favors in remembering it. But Jimmy Smith was great. Like he knows what he's doing. He is a professional, and yet there was something that just didn't connect. I never, listen, Adnan is a wonderful broadcaster. It didn't work. Morrow is really fun to watch. Doesn't, in my opinion, doesn't work week to week. I'm sorry. You can't call the first match of the night like it's the main event at WrestleMania. It just didn't connect to me.
Yeah. Now I hear though, sparsely I hear him now whatever.
Yeah, from boxing
from
and stuff.
boxing and stuff, and I'm like, that's nice to hear him again.
Oh no, Morrow's very talented, and his boxing stuff I really enjoy. He does squeeze in hip hop references sometimes that make me cringe, but I think he's generally super talented. I enjoy Morrow, but no one has pulled off what Tessitore pulled off in going from the sports guy to wrestling guy completely seamlessly. And then just from a working with him standpoint. He is the best point guard that I've maybe ever worked with. I don't want to get a text from Michael K. yelling at me because although he won't listen to the show, so it won't matter. I've worked with a lot of great. It might still come. You never know. He's an insanely sensitive lunatic. But I've worked with some really great people who are the point guard, and I'm there to be the two guard, right? I'm there to pass me the ball, and I take my little threes, and that's it. Joe Tess as a point guard is so good.
Yeah.
He empowers me and Big E so much, like coaches us the right way. Coaching's the wrong word. He doesn't try to be coach, but leads on the court the right way. And like, man, he's flawless.
Yeah.
The guy's constantly flawless.
Yeah. I mean, honestly,
I'm glad you mentioned you and Big E too, because I was going to say it's not just Raw, and I guess SmackDown starting tonight. Now that they go 3 hours, Joe Tess is moving to the lead announcer there, but it is the pre and post shows, those kickoff and closing shows, like after the show's done. He does a phenomenal job, like in all of it, and it sort of feels like he can be plug and play with this WWE shit.
Well, and you want to know this too? Here's the interesting part about Joe Tess. Because of the way things have gone, he does this huge stuff, and now he does all of Countdown and post show, all this stuff. But he's yet to do a PLE. Because Cole is the voice of PLE.
Is that right?
That's right.
No.
Yes. Joe Tess, I believe, has never called a match on a PLE.
Oh, well, that's whenever that day comes.
But that's my point. We haven't even gotten. So my point is, all of this is the beginning of the Joe Tess run. Obvious, and it makes sense. This isn't something I'd imagine bothers Tess. You have the friggin' Howard Cosell, right?
No,
like Michael Cole is there to do this. But then we're going to get this next iteration of Joe Tess when he gets to call the big PLEs down the line. So anyways, shout out to Joe Tess. Mm-hmm. He is a treasure in this business. We're going to take a break. I want to talk about the tag titles for a moment. I want to talk about
Which tag titles?
The women's tag titles. I apologize. I want to talk about the Unreal trailer that dropped this past week. I want to get to some things from Dynamite from a couple of days ago.
I went to an omakase that I want to discuss.
Dip went to omakase, which is something. I learned today that Dip never attaches his phone to CarPlay. SGJ.
That's insane.
He's sitting. We're in Orlando, going from the diner where we had some breakfast. I could talk about his egg obsession another time. And on our way from the diner to the Performance Center, he's typing in the Performance Center address, and I'm like, connect it to the CarPlay. And he's like, I just look at the phone. I went, it takes 2 seconds. What do you mean? He goes, no, even at home, I don't use CarPlay.
I don't like when the text message comes into the screen. And it ding, I don't like that.
You can do not disturb.
No. And then no one disturb. I want to be disturbed.
But you shouldn't.
You don't want to be disturbed.
The maps on the thing in front of you is just so much easier and safer than having to look at your phone.
Listen, I'm a creature of habit. I don't like brown on my eggs. There was a smidge today of the brown on the eggs, and I cut it out and then ate a couple bites.
You ever notice that when people use the term creature of habit, it's always attached to a bad habit?
It's a great point.
Nobody
he doesn't go. That's why I'm in the gym every day.
Good habit.
It never is.
Don't talk to me like that.
We are at the Performance Center. I am shooting just a quick 4 episodes of Evolve tonight. Just four quickies, knock them out.
I can't wait to see Evolve in person.
You're in for a treat. I have the card in front of me. There's some quality matchups tonight.
I don't want to know.
Well, I can't tell anyone because they're not on TV for a while.
Yeah, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I want to be surprised.
There's a peckerhead who we love, who always comes tonight as well. He often wears the Cheap Heat Rocky shirt as well. Hopefully, he will be in attendance tonight.
So there is some crowd members who are not part of the community here.
What do you mean? Yeah, of course.
Okay.
There's some crowd members who are part of the community. What do you mean, our community?
No, you look at the crowd on Evolve, and I just don't know who these people.
Oh, who they are. Oh, who they are.
Yeah.
Oh.
I thought it was mainly some PC folks and.
No. So they are people. There are sometimes people here, yes, who like
local nerds, is what you're saying.
That is correct.
Okay.
So it is a mix of there are local nerds.
Yeah.
There are people who know people. But essentially,
and Dipperstein,
but essentially, and not to, I think people have figured out, especially because I just said it, but in general, that Evolve is taped. You have to have people here. You can't have it like really open to everybody because you don't want every episode to get spoiled. Yeah. So it's important that you kind of know that
people can't help themselves.
Because people can't help themselves. So they keep it small and with people who they know you can be trusted to come.
Yeah,
that's what we do here. Now. So I'm deciding how I feel about the women's tag titles changing hands because you guys have heard me now wax poetic multiple times.
I got a hold.
That I am ready for Rhea Ripley to not be a part of a tag team situation. I think enough is enough. I think I said this last week, but I'll say it again. I think that if you wanted to sort of give Rhea a little bit of a pause on where she is in sort of the main event picture, I think they should have just given her a break. I think it would have been really good timing for Rhea to go away and come back at the Royal Rumble. Dip, I guess now this means we're going to end up getting to like Rio breaking up by WrestleMania and them having a match?
Listen, I can't, I don't want to be too harsh about this.
Okay.
Because I'm a world-class Rhea Ripley fan.
Of course you are.
But I cannot watch this anymore. I can't. This tag team is neat. I mean, they're the tag team champions now, which which like you just said, is assume they're going to be around now for a little bit longer. Why not use this opportunity? You have Rhea Ripley, who beats the crap out of Zelina Vega after during the ambulance match on which I really enjoyed. I thought it was the best part of the show.
Priest beating Alistair.
Yeah, and I haven't really been in on this story at all because
that made it interesting.
At the end of the day, there really is no story there. But I felt like these are two macabre guys. Or Macabre Jace guys. I like them macabre versus macabre.
We know how you feel about macabre.
But and then you have Rhea.
Dip, you should at a restaurant, they should do the Dipperstein macabre salad.
The Cobb salad.
All right, go ahead. Sorry.
So I made a salad today. I fed my friend's rabbit today, and I made a salad for a rabbit this morning.
Wow.
I've never made a salad. First of all, I've never fed a rabbit.
Second of all, you've never eaten a salad.
I eat salad.
Oh.
That's a lie.
I eat.
Is that a New Year's resolution?
I eat Caesar salad with salmon constantly.
Caesar salad is the very definition of
salad. So anyway, I did feed my friend's rabbit this morning. They eat tons of crap.
All right,
spinach,
we'll get back to
make
the point on Rio.
You have Rhea Ripley, who enters this story again with the whatever they're calling themselves, Damian and Rhea. What are they calling themselves again?
The Terror Twins.
The
Terror Twins. Why not take this opportunity to just full-blown do a Terror Twins storyline with the two of them? They're a mixed tag. They're dominant. They made it a point on SmackDown to say this is the end of the Aleister Black Damian Priest feud. Why? They should elevate the feud by including Zelina Vega and Rhea Ripley into it, lead it all the way up to WrestleMania, and do some sort of innuendo between the four of them. Why do we have to see this kabuki thing and the IYO Rhea thing again? We've seen it thousands of times already.
I have to tell you, I don't hate the point that Dipperstein's making right now, SUG. I don't hate this. As far as
but Greg, hold on. Before you make a crazy point that I'm going to disagree with, how can you disagree that you've seen Kabukis versus IYO and Rhea there's every combination. What else is there to do with them? Nothing. Nothing. And what story could they tell with Lash and Nia Jax? I mean, maybe it'll be good. I don't know. I like that tag team. That's a tag team.
Well, something goes there. They're big. They're imposing.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
They're scary.
All right, go ahead, SUG.
Yeah, no. My only thing is what's the point of doing a mixed anything with them? Through that to me is a bigger waste of Rhea Ripley. No disrespect to Damian Priest, but a mixed tag situation is going nowhere. Like it has a ceiling. There's no championships. There might be a huge match at Mania.
You're obsessed with championships.
It's built better for a one-off, right? Like even Punk and AJ and Seth and Becky, they did their mixed tag thing. It was a one-off, and they went their separate ways. That's what it's built for. It's built for one big moment, one big time, and it wasn't at a PLE.
Yes. Build it up to that moment.
But they had that. They had that on the SmackDown.
But they should build up to that moment with many little moments. I mean, I don't need everyone to have I don't need every single person to be after a championship. Not every person on the show needs to be after a belt, after the 30 belts they have.
No, that's not what you can't say that the bigger thing is the nothing thing, right? Because it's just a mixed tag, one-off something.
It would be nothing if they, Greg, if they tell no story. If they tell no story, it's nothing. If they figure out a way to tell a good story with Zelina Vega, who's dope, doesn't really ever get that much, and Rhea Ripley, tell a great story with them. Just the way they told a great story with Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley.
We can't complain about a thing dragging out by supplanting it with another thing that's just built to drag out, right? They're gonna have.
Why is it built to drag out?
Look, what I like about what Dip's saying here is two things. One, I just feel like the Kabuki Rhea IYO thing now has been endless. Like, it reminds me of sort of like the Usos and the Vision in a schmaz at the end of Raw. Like, it has just been over and over and over again. And I like the fact, the main point that Dip made that I found compelling is the ambulance match did feel like something. It felt like a moment.
It's good.
And there's something about the Priest Rhea relationship that's compelling, and I think there could be more there.
Yeah.
I think there's more to explore with Priest and Rhea.
I'm going to tell you what else there is to explore with
go.
Priest and Rhea.
Go ahead.
All of a sudden, you make them an actual thing. They're together. I'm not saying sexually together, on the air, but I'm saying like maybe there's
I don't think we need to clarify that, but.
Although I've always said romantic should be in play for them.
Romantic thing between the two of them, are they or aren't they, is a good thing.
I love that.
And
I love are they or aren't they?
Yes, and then because Priest needs to be, since you're obsessed with titles, SGG, I'll give you this.
Yeah, sure.
Dominic is going to need somebody to chase that title when he's back from injury. So why not have it be Damian Priest? And then because by the way, he's firmly in the mid card at this point. So why don't you have Damian Priest chase the Intercontinental Championship and face Dom, and then all of a sudden you have the Liv thing back with the Terror Twins, and you have like that sort of innuendo, romantic, not romantic. Is Liv jealous of Rhea, or is Rhea still secretly jealous of Liv with Dom? And you have the four of them tell a great story, lead that up to Mania, and have Dom's match at Mania instead of some fakakta thing they'll do. Hopefully not with a celebrity. It'll be with Damian for the Intercontinental Championship. That's where I think this should go after the Rumble.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at it.
And I disagree for the same point. You're taking the Kabuki thing.
How could you disagree with that?
The Kabuki thing, it dragged out. Yes, it absolutely did. But now they're tag champions, and that opens up a world of possibility for them. They get to float on the brands. That freshens up the competition. Lash and Nia is waiting in the wings. Charlotte and Alexa could be on the table for them. It opens up a lot of possibility for them with the tag team titles versus going back to the Terror Twins and doing a mixed thing that's not going to work, and then taking the Terror Twins and putting them back with the Judgment Day, which was a storyline. Now you talk about something that dragged on forever.
True. But it's
still
on there
forever.
But at least they told a story. They told a story.
Rhea and Priest need to get away from the Judgment Day. Way worse, faster than Rhea needs to get away from the Kabuki and Io thing.
Well, my biggest thing is not
come back to it.
My biggest thing is not even about the Rhea and Io with the Kabuki thing. I just don't really feel like Rhea and Io need to be in a tag team. And I felt like Rhea and Io had told their story. The story of Rhea has never beaten Io is an interesting story. And one day I want to see it end. I don't think it's anytime soon. So I'm good with them wrapping it up now. They have been together now for going on a year. I don't think it needs to be finished up now. And I have to imagine now that this tag title reign will lead to a breakup and then lead to a match.
Rhea needs to be the heel in this. Io cannot be the heel. We don't need to see heel.
I think are we all on the same page on that? I agree.
I agree. And can I circle back to something you said too, Pete? That is my problem with Rhea and Io as a tag team and now as tag team champs, is because now on Monday Night Raw, I have my eye towards two breakups, and they're both tag team champs. It's the Usos, and now it's Rhea and Io. And I feel like I'm setting myself up for disappointment because they can't do both.
Nope.
And if they do both, it's just absolutely lazy. So it's just about which one do they do,
and which one
is more impactful.
You know it's not going to be the Usos. 877-344-4893. 877-344-4893. Where are you at on the Rhea Io? Have you had enough of seeing Rio and the Kabukis? What do you think of Dip's idea about the Terror Twins being more of a thing? A lot more to get into in the second hour, and more Cheap Heat Live next, right here on Pro Wrestling Nation 24/7.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following. Get ready for the ride of your life in Total Recall, the NES game based on the Schwarzenegger blockbuster movie. Defeat the Martial mutants, secret agents, and more from Acclaim.
We are back on this lovely Friday. I'm at the Performance Center. Dip is actually down here doing some business as well. So we are together in the lovely Bully Ray Studios at the WWE Performance Center. SUG is with us in Philadelphia, PA. And there's a lot to get to in hour two. We haven't even finished getting everything from Monday Night Raw this week, which was, I thought, generally speaking, a solid episode. We just spent a lot of time on the Rhea and Io of it all. Dip just spoke about enjoying Julia's performance, which I was glad to hear. But I was a little confused about why we just got Matt Cardona back next week. And first of all, I know this is nitpicky, all right? We're all happy that Matt Cardona is back, okay? And we are. However, it was the second time in a row, SUG, where we saw Matt Cardona pop up in upstate New York. I think
it's a coincidence.
I guess it is.
Yeah.
But I guess they wanted him on SmackDown, but couldn't you have just waited and had him make the comeback at Barclays Center on Monday and then assign him to SmackDown? What? It doesn't matter. We need to stop with the shows matter.
God, let me tell you something.
So just let him come back on a Monday, SGG, in Brooklyn, where they would have went crazy. And then afterwards, you see him backstage, and Pierce is like, hey, man, it's been a pleasure. And he goes, because by the way, these decisions on what show people are going to make no sense anyway. So Cardona just says to Pierce, hey, it's been great being here. I wanted to pop up in Brooklyn, but I'm going to SmackDown, my friend, and walks out. That's it.
Yeah. Well, then that gets you back into the, they make decisions, and what are we doing with Pierce and Aldis, which is another point that we were just making.
No, so let's make it right now.
Okay.
So we're all very excited about the NXT call-ups, right? We're getting Javon Evans. We haven't even gotten yet to Oba Femi, who vacated the NXT title. There's a lot of Jordan Grace you just mentioned. There's a lot of fun stuff happening with talent coming up. But SGG, it feels like it's been 20 years of not being able to figure out a consistent plan of getting people on a show and even deciding what the show relationship is. Is there a difference between Raw and SmackDown? There's never a consistent thing there. And so as a result, we keep hearing this, I don't know where I should go. And they act as if it's a choice, it's a team. What is it? What is it? What is Raw? What is SmackDown, SGG?
I am so not a fan of I'm backstage talking to Aldis, and now I'm backstage talking to Pierce, and I'm touring the arenas, and I'm running into potential. They did that with every single person, it feels like, for the past 3 years. I remember they did it with Jade, and now Jade is doing it with Jordan Grace, and you better go to the other show. It's just can we just get a pop-up? Can we just get a pop-up and say,
we don't care.
I'm here, I'm on this show, and this is what it is. Or can we just have them?
If we're not going to commit, if we're not going to commit to what it means, then just let it mean nothing.
It's just half-baked. Yeah. Have Jordan Grace come out and hit Jade Cargill with a chair. And make an impactful thing. Seeing her backstage and who are you? Are you this? What is this? It makes them feel weak instantly. Jordan Grace.
If we have to do the free agent, I'm choosing between shows, whatever thing. We could do it on NXT. The CW, right. I'm sure they have some program to fill. Send Pearson all this down there. Put him in the crowd to scout.
Sure.
Do it that way and have them decide. You know what? Next week, I'm going to be on a new show. You'll figure out Monday or Friday, wherever I pop up, that's my show. But do it that way. This, I'm coming in and I'm backstage and I'm talking to the people and I'm going to have a tryout match. And, I'm over it. I'm over it.
Yeah, this has been a thing now for a really long time where, and don't even get me started. God forbid we have a conversation about the draft, right? They never got, as much as WWE has wanted to do a sports-like thing at times, right? They've never been able to fully execute the draft. And it's crazy because backstage, you have writers and talent and producers who are sports obsessed and know exactly what sports feels like. And yet, for some reason, no one's able to ever figure out the way to handle these shows. Dip, maybe it's a thing where it's really complicated because no one ever wants to say that one show is better than the other. You have to be really mindful of the competition because you have a deal for Raw on television, a deal for SmackDown on television. Maybe it just complicates the whole thing.
I don't know. I want to just know the thinking. And again, we are wrestling experts as fans. We are not wrestling experts as wrestlers. And
Correct.
So there's a big difference, and we know that. But I must know the thought process to what occurs that does not put somebody in, you're debuting Jordan Grace or you're debuting Javon Evans or whoever. Why? What is the thought process of let's not put them in a story or a feud right away? Let's put them in a backstage, where should I go? What should I do? Do you know who I am? You're young around here. Where are they? What? Why does that have to be the thing all the time? You should immediately. You remember the way they debuted Chyna? She was in the crowd as this big muscular massive person, and she started choking out Marlena, and nobody knew who she was. And then all of a sudden, you're like, oh my God,
this person matters.
Who is
right
this
away.
monster who can? Yeah. And all of a sudden, she was you immediately established her as someone who mattered, who was important. The way they did Earthquake back in the day. Remember?
I knew. I was SGG. I was counting down to Earthquake.
Were you really?
I didn't say
okay. It's just they're debuting these people as like foreigners.
I know.
It's
Why
ridiculous.
Would people? You have to also remember, like, people are fans of the product. NXT is promoted a lot.
Maybe there's some research that tells them that like people that come up from NXT, they like the fans that watch the product that don't watch NXT need re-education. Okay, but I want to know. Like, I'd love someone to just explain it to me.
I don't know. It's just if only in the immediate future there was some sort of event where you have a perfect reason to have people show up, and then when they show up, they're in the middle of a match, and they can have interaction with other wrestlers and create something going forward.
The Rumble? But
come on. Like, what? But no, that shouldn't be blown over. Why didn't we just do this at the Rumble? Like,
do what at the Rumble?
Bring Oba Femi in. Bring Jordan Grayson. And then they get into it with someone, and then they say they're going
here's
somewhere.
the thing. I know that they were trying to showcase.
I just want to step in real quick. Even if you say that they have data that says that fans need a re-education on people from NXT, I don't know that I necessarily buy that all the way as a reason why you can't just throw certain people in, because if they believe that people don't watch NXT, they for sure believe that people don't watch these other companies, and they threw AJ Styles right into it. I know he was a big name to us, but they threw him in. They said, this is who he is. This is why he matters.
That doesn't count. AJ doesn't count, Greg.
Jade Cargill went straight to the main roster. This is who she is. This is why she matters. They can do it, and it doesn't take that long to do it. To get these
I agree.
I don't like squash matches. I don't know. I don't like squash matches for debuting people. I like you know what I like? A squash match of someone who's already established. I have no problem with that. Somebody who is like here's the problem.
Hold on, real quick. We blew past this. You're telling me that everything that's happening right now wouldn't be better than
if it were in the Rumble?
No, Oba Femi shows up, his music hits at the Rumble. He comes into the Rumble and he eliminates Brock Lesnar, and we're off to the races.
Okay, sure.
That's it. He's made. It started. We're done.
Okay,
I think we see Oba Femi tonight, though. Speaking of him,
probably
good. I like him. I'm into it. Of course.
But what are we going to do tonight?
But hold on. Let me just say one thing. If Oba Femi, I know that they were trying to like put NXT people over on the scene tonight, and that's fine. But if Oba Femi would have gotten who did he go to wrestle? Cody. Mm-hmm. He should have beaten Cody. Didn't have to be for the title. He should have beaten Cody. Why do we have to follow all the rules all the time? The rules can be broken. If Oba Femi would have pinned, he didn't have to crush Cody Rhodes. It could have been an incredible match, but Oba should have won that match.
Well, in fact, they had.
Why not? Who cares? Cody Rhodes is the highest level of the high.
And there was an easy way SGG to do it, because you have this whole Drew McIntyre thing. So Drew could have also like Claymored Cody. And then Oba finishes him.
Sure.
So Oba gets the win, but you know it's not clean because Drew cheated.
Sure.
And but don't just shore it.
You're right.
Thank you. Don't dismiss it.
I'm agreeing.
That's how you tie it up and you break those rules. There are ways to break the rules and protect. Because I get it. You don't want Cody Rhodes to just job out to people from NXT. But you want Oba Femi to be the friggin' man. He is the man. So to your point, which I agree with. These guys just wandering around backstage. It makes me already worry about them right out of the gate.
But I'm hoping that we see Oba Femi tonight interfere in that main event, because you did mention it. Yes. Drew did cost him that match. He should have beaten Cody. He probably would have if not for Drew. So I think he might try to get back on Drew tonight. Hopefully.
Thank you, Greg. We'll that's exactly right. Tonight he should interfere in the main event. And you immediately establish him as a main eventer, as a contender to these two people.
And a threat.
That should have a threat. The Oba match with Cody should have started the feud between Cody and Oba.
Yeah, or Drew and Oba, whatever way you want to go.
Or Drew and Oba, whatever. But that's why do we need to have them meander around and decide what brand?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm concerned about the way Javon showed up. They're sort of like. It sort of seems like SGG. Like I don't know. I know Javon's like fun loving, but like he's also the man in the ring.
Yeah.
And I don't want him to just be seen as like happy-go-lucky fun guy backstage having chats. Do you remember the era of the Street Profits just wandering around backstage for months?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was after they were already up on the main roster. I don't mean this was from NXT. But the SGG, they spent months just being like, what are these?
Is one of them hurt?
They were like the hype men for the whole show. Like they would go in.
I'm going to make one more point about this.
He's making a point, folks.
If Austin Theory were a debuting wrestler and he were the man in the hoodie, Sounds good to me. I'm fine that it's Austin Theory. I've said it 10,000 times. I'm glad he's getting his day now, finally, in court.
But you're saying that would be an interesting way to debut someone.
Why not debut Javon Evans like that?
By the way,
I agree.
You know, it's so funny. What he just said, SUG, the average person would go, what? What are you saying? If it had been like Javon Evans who showed up in the freaking... You talk about a shock.
Yeah.
If it was Leon Slater or Javon Evans instead who was in the Vision, I know people are like, what? That's impossible. That's the cool part. Everyone expected Austin Theory. And yes, I'm happy Austin Theory is getting his moment. But from a fan standpoint, I would have loved to have been shocked in that moment. SGG, we're going to get to the phone lines here in a moment. But before we do that, the Unreal trailer dropped this week. Did you check it out?
I did check it out.
And did you have any thoughts?
I gotta say, I disagree with Paul Heyman. I like that they're pulling back the curtain, and I don't think they're going so deep that we know everything. It is still a TV show from the TV show guys that have been putting on a TV show that I've watched for 30 plus years that was entirely geared towards playing with my emotions. That through line is still there, guys.
Yep.
I don't think that because they're throwing it under the guise of reality TV that part is going to change. Like, they're not giving me all the sauce because that's dumb.
But don't you think, SUG, that Paul Heyman was working in that trailer?
Of course.
That's the beautiful part of the entire thing.
Yeah.
Always working. All right, so
I
was
a question mark on everything though. Like, Paul Heyman was definitely working, but it triggers that part in wrestling fans' brain of like, okay, is now what I'm getting real. Like, that hook that people have been biting on since before I was born, they just throwing it out there again. Is what I'm getting real now? And I gotta say, I don't know, but I don't care. I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna tap in.
I landed in Orlando yesterday, and I'm mindlessly scrolling as I'm walking through the airport because, let's be honest, we're just at this point a bunch of walking zombies having our entire belief system created by the algorithm that tells us things. And I was fed a clip because the algorithm knows that I will get angry of Bryan Alvarez and Dave Meltzer talking about the Unreal trailer. And they were going off on the fact that in the trailer, SGG, they sort of celebrate the Seth Rollins injury angle when he returned at SummerSlam. And here is Alvarez and Meltzer from Pro Wrestling Observer Radio talking about it.
We had this clip from the new season of WWE Unreal. They're trying to convince you that Seth fooled everyone with his knee injury.
When I first watched it, the way the announcers reacted, I thought, this is an angle. But everyone, was going, it's not an angle, it's not an angle, not an angle. So not a lot of people knew. I mean, I just thought it was so hilarious, like the talent that went in there and goes, I had no idea. And it's like, are you in the real world? Anyone who paid attention, even if they wanted to believe, they had heard the story that this probably, if you didn't want to know and you don't follow wrestling closely, yes, of course, you could have been fooled. But if you were following wrestling at all, you at least heard that this could be an angle and maybe just said, I don't believe it and all that, but you heard it. But the idea that like they fooled everyone.
They did not.
Okay. Give me a moment here. No, you can't. I need a moment. Okay, I need a moment. You can have a moment after my moment, but yeah. I need a moment. A few things. One, every single injury thing that happens in WWE, of course, could be an angle. That's why we love wrestling and think it's great. So the thing that Meltzer says there at the end, of course people thought it could be an angle. But when they just said talent was in the clip saying, oh my God, we didn't know. And he goes, are you in the real world? Dave, they're in the wrestling world. They're working as professional wrestlers. They're not spending their life reading every single thing that gets said. I have news for you. I was there. Me and many other people had no idea it was an angle. And what I resent about it is, and listen, I'm not like going to take some crazy personal shots at Alvarez and Meltzer. I know people have strong feelings about what they say. I think sometimes they say things that are great. I think sometimes it's asinine. This one falls on asinine. You guys are so up the ace of pro wrestling that you think normal fans, and SGG, I mean hardcore fans, there are people who are hardcore fans who watch all the shows who still thought Seth was legitimately hurt. Why were you guys were sure? Everyone knew that was an angle. I just, what annoys me about it is, I personally, and maybe it's just I'm defending myself because I come off as a jabroni. SGG, I really thought that the Seth injury angle leading up to SummerSlam was one of the best works and sort of reveals that we've seen in a very long time, and they completely dumped on it just because they heard from someone that it was a work.
Right. And that's the part that I think is absurd, right? He said anyone who pays attention to wrestling, what he really meant was anyone who pays attention to me, which I'm sorry, Dave, a lot of people don't. And the people that do don't take you seriously, and this is more confirmation of that, because sure, they did say it was a work, but that was based on something that they heard. They didn't observe this and then say, oh, well, I think it's a work because of, like, they didn't break down the game footage, and they heard a rumor and they ran with that rumor. Turned out to be true, but it wasn't like it came from their high grasp of wrestling knowledge and the business and prophecy, and you gossiped. You got gossip. That's it. It was gossip.
And a lot of fans, who really love wrestling and follow it intensely, did not hear that gossip and were legit surprised. Now, in the building that night, you could hear the shock and awe. People didn't just cheer for Seth. They were shocked. I'm sorry, guys. You missed that. If you believe everybody knew, I'm telling you, as I sat there and argued about it with Big E, a friend of Seth Rollins, who didn't know, and me, who had been at dinner with him the night before and didn't know, you cannot tell me that it did not fool a lot of people.
It did. I argued with people. I argued with people in the Discord. Right? I was like, I hope it's a work. Like you said, anytime anybody gets injured in WWE, there's a 50-50 chance in people's mind they go either work or not work. I said, I hope it's a work, but this feels real. The way they presented it felt real. He backed into the corner. The finish was awkward. LA Knight looked pissed. I don't know if he was in on it or not. I don't know. He probably. I really
that
don't
part was
know,
so well done.
Yeah, all of it was like, what are we talking about here?
That was the one night. The night of the Saturday Night's Main Event was the night when I thought, oh, is it or is it not? But then as time went on, I went, oh, I guess it was. And I just moved on with my life.
It was so
LA
awkward.
Knight just pinned Seth Rollins clean? Like, I was like, nah, that's not. What? Wow.
Yeah, and it's
okay.
It's like that when you watch an actor in a show pretend to be a bad actor, you're just like, oh, actually, they're really great because they look like this looks like they cannot act. Like that's what they did that night. And you don't expect professional wrestlers to be able to pull it off. Like it was flawless. It was flawless.
Listen,
so yeah, you heard a rumor that disputed it, but it wasn't wrestling knowledge that led you to that.
Well, remember also, Seth is a guy too who has, I talked recently about nuance and having it. He is a guy who has the nuance, who is able to do the little things and pull things off. And I just thought it was crazy for people to kind of like kill a crazy, awesome moment. I'm looking forward to seeing Unreal talk about it. Dip, I'm going to give you the floor here so you don't forget about something you're excited about. The 3 stages of hell complaint that you have.
The first stage of hell being a regular wrestling match is not hell. Okay?
In fact, wrestling's great.
Yeah, I cannot tell you with a straight face that a stage of hell is a wrestling match. Okay?
Before you continue, can I just say I was prepared to like argue against that and defend the singles match, but the way you said it, the first stage of hell being a wrestling match is not hell. I can't fuck with that.
You can't.
All right, we bing ding ding.
You beat Greg. You got to win. Not even fighting back.
Wow, it takes a lot for us to truly agree.
Nah, I can't mess with that.
But even okay, let me just say, like I thought it was going to get better as it went on, but then like Falls Count Anywhere. I mean, I could see a Falls Count Anywhere match on a Rampage episode. Okay, and then You got the third one is a classic. You have to call the cage match a classic cage match because everyone's expecting a Hell in a Cell.
It's like when Coke went Coke Classic.
It's guys. I mean, I'm not saying we need like an Inferno match.
By the way,
and then
I would have liked an Inferno match.
Inferno would have been Mage. And we don't need. It doesn't need to be a macabre guy, a macabre character for an Inferno.
No. Why
but
does
it
only
usually
macabre?
is.
It's usually macabre.
But by the way, a non-macabre Inferno match, and then why don't we do a for stage 2? We do a what's it called? The the big yellow thing, the Great Khali thing,
the Punjabi prison.
The Punjabi prison.
You want all of them.
First stage for you, I feel like, to really make this match something, to dipify it, if you will, the first stage should have been a first blood match.
No, that should be the third stage.
Why wait? Then they got blood the whole
They got
way.
blood the whole match. You're right. What am I saying?
Yeah.
Good
First
point,
stage
Gregory.
was the first blood match.
First blood is Mage.
First blood is a good first stage of hell.
Then you put another. Then you get a funky one like a steel cage or a Inferno. And then what about it? You end with I Quit.
Yeah.
Final thing is I Quit. You have to quit.
These is hell to me.
Now we're getting to hell.
This is
What
hell.
about weapons? Just a simple weapons.
Just
match.
throw a bunch of brown eggs in there. That's hell.
Well, that's the
that
thing,
would-
because all of these matches are no DQ. Weapons is...
What would be my 3 stages of hell?
Oh, I got it.
Yeah.
Here are Dip's 3 stages of hell. Stage 1.
Turbulence.
Turbulence. Stage 2, going to a restaurant of a kind of food he's not into.
Okay.
Stage 3. What? Oh, there's so many things that you. Stage 3, having to
alligator
walk
match.
far.
Alligator.
And
My alligator on a pole match.
That swamp match.
A swamp match.
Me and
Alligator
Skinner.
off the pole.
Alligator off the pole.
By the way, there are so many things.
By the way, I didn't even talk about my. This.
We'll do that when you get back. You want to get to the omisakaze?
We can do it when we
Is that a stage of hell?
It's a stage of hell. Omakase is a stage.
You think
of hell.
omakase is a stage of hell?
When they give you morsels of food every 10 minutes.
Here's my stages of hell. Going somewhere where Dip is in control of the directions. That's the first stage of hell. Oh, number two, being with Dip when he's really hungry and needs to like move. That's a nightmare.
What does that mean?
You know, like when you're starting to get agita, or what's the Jewish word you use for it again?
Spilkus.
Yeah, when he's got spilkus and he just starts getting up. Like, I'm in the middle of doing something, he starts getting up and pacing around me and has to go. All of a sudden, this guy who you couldn't get to go to the gym on a bet, he's got to get his energy out. He wants to go to the racetrack. I want to hear about your omakase experience. I think it's very important. Mm-hmm. We should get to that when we get back. And I want to hear from the people in this last segment. Would you like to see Drew McIntyre beat Cody Rhodes? And for those of you hearing the repeat, you already know the result, but I'm still curious. Heading into this, would you like to see Drew McIntyre with the title going into Royal Rumble season? We'll take your calls, 877-344-4893. And before I forget, because I seem to keep forgetting, the main thing I wanted to say about Dynamite this week was I wanted to give props to Willow Nightingale. I thought they did a title celebration segment, which is such an easy segment to have as a dud, like anywhere with anyone. I had never seen, well, I had. That's not true. I've only seen Willow Nightingale cutting a promo in the ring, like in an interview-style promo, a few times. SGG, she was so damn good in that spot, like with a mic in her hand, having fun, talking-ish. And then I got to give credit. Get ready. I am giving credit to Mercedes Moné in a promo spot.
What?
She came out with a white veil on. Like she was like at a funeral.
Mm-hmm.
And when she took it off, her hair was a mess. Like she looked like a disaster, and then fell face first into the cake. And the segment ended with Mercedes covered in cake. This is a great angle for someone who like so comes off as an annoying heel. I had never seen SGG that sort of heel moment for her, where she looks like, you know, when the completely hateable heel also then turns into a joke in front of everybody. Like, it's such a classic old school wrestling moment. It was really fun to see Mercedes in that spot, and I thought she did a great job. And the juxtaposition of seeing Nightingale awesome on the mic, Harley Cameron, who's just Harley Cameron, and then Statlander. It was a really, really great segment, so I wanted to give props there. And that's not just to get the annoying AEW people off my back, because I know I can't get them off my back. Your call's next, 877-344-4893. More Cheap Heat Live on Pro Wrestling Nation 24/7.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following. Vitamin C drops from Halls. A day's supply of vitamin C in original citrus and new great-tasting berry flavors. Vitamin C that's hassle-free.
Dip, I think as everyone sits here towards the end of the show, everyone just wants to know, what was your experience with omakase?
I'm not talking about the specific experience. With these omakases, they're a fortune of money beyond imagination. And I'm not saying the food wasn't good, but you can't give people... I don't know these people that enjoy getting morsels of food, one bite of food every 10 minutes. Just give me the whole plate at the same time, and I'll choose what I want to try. Okay, and I'll space it out however I want. A piece of they were calling it like the entree. Okay, there's a sushi omakase, but there was beef, there was meat too. Mm-hmm. They bring out this piece of beef. It's one bite. One bite of beef was the entree. I take it with my fork. I eat it in one bite. Because any normal person sees that amount of beef cheek and says, this is one bite of food. But I look to my left, I'm sitting at the end, I see these people cutting it into little tiny morsels. Yeah. They're cutting it into morsels.
They were cutting it into morsels?
They're pretending like it was multiple bites. No. It was one bite.
No, I completely agree. So overall, do you think omakase is a complete racket, or are you where are you at with it?
I think it's a racket. I err on the side of racket.
SGG, where are you?
The way Dip is describing it, I have to agree with him. Like, what are you doing here?
It's crazy. And then
it's expensive.
I feel that way about the whole like Michelin star experience, where it's like, oh, these chefs, they create these experiences and molecular gastronomy, and you have to.
I like that.
It's a fortune, and then they hand you these plates where it's like,
give me more food.
I want a meal. I came for a feast.
Everyone says, "Oh, don't worry, you're going to be full at the end." And by the time they said it was the last course, I'm hoping the last course was a slice of pizza.
Right.
I know. I have you ever been full from omakase?
Never.
I've had an occasion where I've actually like started to feel full, but it's hard.
Come on.
No, I swear I've been full from omakase before.
You've never been full from
omakase.
Occasion.
So I'm
it's
inclined to
it's
believe
not
it was
common.
literally one.
I don't know. They're explaining the farms that this
the
thing...
sugar fish omakase situation in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
Or now my old neighborhood.
This is the highest level. This was 50,000 times more. This was the
highest.
It's
still your neighborhood.
Michelin star highest level.
Oh, this is Michelin star.
Yeah, Michelin star. So
still your neighborhood.
I got to meet this Michelin first of all. I got to meet the Michelin guy. I think
it's the Michelin Man.
It's the Michelin Man. He does tires and very expensive food. It's unbelievable. This guy's
now that's a racket right there.
No, it really is the same though.
No.
Yes, it is.
Yes,
it is.
And that's the racket.
I made that up.
Michelin star. The Michelin star is the Michelin tires. It's all the same.
Yeah.
This is some.
The Michelin star was a
guy.
gimmick to sell tires. They wanted people weren't driving enough, so they said you need to go to these restaurants and check.
I think that part
out.
He's making up. I think that part
it's
he's
a
making
fact.
Up. That part's actually true too.
They weren't selling enough tires, so they came up with the star rating system to get people to try restaurants and drive around and run down their tires so they could go.
I guess I got to go to the Wikipedia page of Michelin stars.
No, you don't. Actually, just gave it to you.
Thank you,
guys. Real quick, we have a big episode of the SmackDown tonight. Should we watch together after I do 19 wrestling shows tonight?
That's like I don't know how much Rosenberg can I have in my life? It's like it's the fourth stage of hell.
By the way, he's getting back at me, and this is what makes Dip such a bad guy. He literally said to me at the commercial break, he goes, "This is a good bit on the live reads. You can always bully me." So what do? I bully him in the next live read, and then what does he do? He bullies me back.
Yeah.
He set up the bully.
I gave you a receipt.
Yeah. By the way,
this
is
exactly
why what it was.
There was a receipt.
Dip would never work as a pro wrestler because you can't go, hey, you know what would be a really great line is if you said blah, blah, blah in the promo. And then the guy's like, all right, cool. And he says the line. And then that guy just goes worse but didn't warn you about it. That's not how this goes.
But I'm good at giving a receipt. A big CVS receipt.
No, he's good at keeping receipts too. Folks, follow us, Cheap Heat Pod on Instagram. We appreciate you guys so much. Make sure you subscribe to Cheap Heat wherever you find it. Have a wonderful weekend. Stay mage, and SUG, Dip, enjoy yourselves.
Yeah, stay mage, please.
Easy, man.
Thanks, guys.